All right. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Um, Today we're going to look at lesson 17, complex sprite movement. You have done some velocity. We're going to do some more complex stuff like simulate gravity, get some momentum going, and make a sprite jump and bounce and fly all around. Float, whatever you want to do. We're going to do that. It definitely adds more intricate design to your games. So let's take a look. So in this part, all you're doing is predicting what will happen. Make sure you write that in there and really think about this. What's going to happen? You have your function here, velocity x equals, or sprite1 velocity x equals sprite1 velocity x point, or plus 0.1. So give her a try, predict what it will do. I'm not going to run mine, and I don't want to give you any clues. On this one, you're going to be using the counter pattern with the velocity. So look at that, it speeds up, the car speeds up. So, and you can tell that right here, velocity x equals car velocity x plus 0.1. So finish, move on. Nice thing is that disappears. Okay, the rock should speed up as it falls down, just like this. Can you use the same counter pattern with velocity x? So you want yours to speed up as it falls, okay? And then the challenge is, can you make the rock spin as it falls? That's the challenge. Bonus points if you can do that, but make it fall faster as it, see it, gains momentum. All right, so now we're gonna make the bubble go up. What's the opposite of y plus or y minus? It's y plus. See how the bubble starts kind of slow and then starts zooming right away. So you want it to do that. I know you can see mine, but try not to look. All right, the car is going to run into the water. You need to use the counter pattern to slow it down. Make sure you do this and this. Challenge, add code that makes the car slow down only if its velocity x is greater than 0. So watch mine. And it stops. So yours will run into the water, or maybe it will back up at first, but you want yours to stop just like that. All right, this is an assessment part. You definitely want to get past this. Look at that rock. You want to make it look like it's thrown in the air and then it falls back down. Okay. Right now yours falls back down. Okay, you want to make sure it falls. Use the sprite.velocityx block with the counter pattern to make the rock slow down and then fall in the other direction. That's what rocks do. They are bound by gravity. Experiment with different values. Do you want the rock to slow down quickly or gradually? What looks most realistic? Don't go out and start throwing rocks in your neighborhood. Make sure you're somewhere safe if you do that to test the realisticness of what you're trying to do. So right here, do this. A sprite has already been created for you that falls because it's y velocity. Okay, so what you're going to be doing is inside the if block, check whether the up arrow has been pressed. Set the sprite's y velocity to -5. Okay, show me where. There. Okay. Discuss with a neighbor or anybody. Why does this code run the way it does? How would using a number besides -5 affect the way the code works? How could you jump higher or lower? So in this one, you're going to be adding an if statement inside your draw loop below the one you just created for the up arrow. Use a key down block to make sure the if statement responds when the right arrow is pressed. So look at mine. So it goes up and it moves right and left. You want to make it do that. Okay, you don't need to worry about the coin yet. Okay, but the point being, put that key down in there and make it for the right arrow. Inside the if block, use the counter pattern with the sprite velocity x block to add 0.1 to the sprite's velocity. Okay, if you do too much, screw it all up. Okay? So you got the velocity. Okay, up arrow. Here's what it looks like if you have the up. Okay, if you really have a problem with that, but you want to use that same pattern for the left and the right. Remember, as we change here, remember that there's patterns from the past. Okay, you can always look back in one of these others and take a look at how it was done. That's using your resources. You want to be a dependent learner, an independent learner, and you do that by checking out other resources. Use your past experiences. You can always ask for help and help and tips too if you don't remember something. Okay, do this. Add code to your draw loop that will make the sprite start moving to the left when the left arrow is down. Okay, make sure you're using velocity and the counter pattern together. Got that? So mine, up, left, right. Okay, now you're going to do this. Use the create sprite block to create a new sprite. Make sure to give a descriptive name such as coin. Okay, you got to give it a name. So here's what I have. Coin.setAnimation coin. We already have a coin here for you. Variable score. Use the sprite X and sprite Y properties of the sprite to give it random X and Y positions. In the animation tab, there's already a coin. So make sure you set that inside the coin or the draw loop here, down here. Make sure that you do this for the coin, sprite X, sprite Y properties of the coin. Okay. And if you're looking back, here is some of that code for the up, down, left, and right from part 10. And that's what that would look like. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you what the coin looks like. And then remember, you're doing this for the coin. Make sure you change the name from sprite. And then I already added a variable there. I'm going to give you guys too much. So now, place an if in your draw loop. Use the sprite is touching block as the conditional to detect whether this character touches the coin. And inside the if block, write code that sets the coin's X and Y position to random numbers between 0 and 400. You have already written that, but do this, okay? And then test it before moving on. Okay. So now when you touch the coin, That's all you need to do. Okay, if it touches the coin, it should move to a random position. The coin goes. Lost it. All right, finish that up. And then the next one is change it in some way. Make at least one improvement to your game. I added a score. You can see if I touch that coin, look up at the top left, changes to 1, 2, 3, 4, and finish up. Okay, and then let's review. So what happens here is when you use the velocity with the counter pattern, you get slow speeding up to fast, whether it's going up or whether it's going down. The same principles apply to left and right. Okay, slowing down is a little bit different. So if we have velocity set for -25, you just add to it. Okay, do the opposite. You have -25 velocity, you go to bone velocity y, counter pattern plus, and then if as right here, you have a positive velocity, you want to do counter pattern with a minus. Okay, whether it's y, and then stopping. So here's what you got: plane velocity equals 25. Plane velocity y. If plane velocity y is greater than 0, plane velocity y equals plane velocity y minus 1. Once it hits 0, stops, just like that car at the ocean. So that is your complex sprite movements, using velocity, using slowing down, that sort of thing. It's going to make as you can see, it's going to change your games. Please enjoy this, and make sure you do the do this on every single part of the level. All right. Thanks, and we'll see you in lesson 18.